Hello everybody, welcome to a beautiful happy Friday, and today we're going to be flying from Cable Airport to Agua Dulce, Lima 70. We're currently in X-Plane 11, and the airplane that you see in front of you is the Just Flight Cessna 152. We'll be going by the call sign number 6357 Quebec, so just disregard the paint job on the outside of the airplane. The airplane is currently tied down. We haven't really done anything with it yet, but we're going to go ahead and get started here shortly. So the distance today is 56.5 nautical miles, and the estimated flight time is around 28 minutes 20 seconds, at least through my nav log. That's what I was able to calculate, about 29 minutes or so flight time. Sky condition is clear. And then, of course, I've got my nav log on my iPad over here. Just keeping it paper-free, in the simulator. So it took us some time to do that. We're just going to be dead reckoning today. So the Just Flight Cessna 152, it's an airplane that I've flown a few times already. This is the airplane that I'm training on, or haven't actually started flying it yet, but we'll be flying it tomorrow, actually, this weekend. And it should be a nice weekend. We have a nice high-pressure system. And just looking out the window, the winds have kind of calmed down, and yeah, it should be a nice day to fly in the simulator and tomorrow, of course. So I've got the Ortho XP scenery, of course. So there's the mountains there, Mount Baldy, and all that, and yeah, so it's pretty nice looking stuff. Well, anyway, so the only thing that we are able to do with this airplane, since it doesn't have a simulated walk around, we're just going to say, hey, we did the walk around. And once we release the parking brake, all of this stuff, tow bar, chocks, and stuff is removed. So we're just going to go ahead and do the weight and balance. And we're at basically maximum takeoff weight, which is gross weight, rather, not maximum takeoff weight, which is about 1670. So we got full fuel, which is 24.5 usable, and that's basically it. So we got full fuel in the airplane. Without any further delay, let's go ahead and jump in the airplane. So actually, I can show you here. I can just disengage the parking brake, and of course everything gets removed. So it's kind of nice. Makes things a little bit easier. So I've got the VFR view, nose view for the compass. So this is the airplane, the internals. It's pretty well detailed. There's a few things aerodynamically that I don't think are as accurate as they should be, but for the most part, it's pretty well detailed. In terms of adverse yaw and being uncoordinated and having the proper meta rudder, it kind of just doesn't really have too much of that tendency, like the real airplane. And the other thing that I'm bummed out about is that there's only one comm radio, even though that there's a comm 2. Comm 1 is there's a Garmin 430, and it's basically coupled to comm 1, so I'm bummed out about that. I can't listen to Guard on comm 2 or get an ATIS. I have to switch my active comm 1 to the ATIS or whatever frequency. And I'm drinking sweet tea. So what I'm going to do here is, which I forgot to do, is file a flight plan through Pilot Edge, because we do use Pilot Edge here. Pilot Edge connects to your home flight simulator, and you get a 14-day free trial here. It starts at $19.95 a month for LA Center, and then if you want Oakland Center, Seattle Center, and Denver and Albuquerque, which is all Western expansion, then it's another $10 a month. So if you like to do some long flights or flight jets or something, which we do occasionally, but I just have LA Center now because there's no need for any of that other stuff for me. It works just fine. Alright, so I logged in, and let's go ahead and go file flight plan. So we are going to be November 6357, Quebec. And we are a type Cessna 152 and 125. I'm dyslexic. Slant uniform, because there's no DME on this airplane. It's very, very primitive. True airspeed, we were calculating it as 112 knots, but performance tables are saying it should be like 5 knots less. If we're doing an indicated of about 100, which is usually what I do in this airplane at cruise, at about 2,500 RPM, it's around, I don't know why it's giving me something different, but we're just going to say 112, 112, departure is going to be Kilo Charlie Charlie Bravo, and then we're going to be arriving at Lima 70. Cruising altitude of 6,500 because we are going to be going a magnetic course of west, whatever you want to call it. And then there's no alternate. We're not flying an IFR flight plan here. No route of flight, and that's basically it. We'll just verify VFR 65 Quebec, that's the 152 cent uniform, 112 knots. Cable arriving 6,500 feet, and we'll file a flight plan. So we're going to connect as the call sign number 6357 Quebec. That's it. So looking at oops, I didn't mean to do that. Looking at sky vector here, this is our legs here. First leg is going to be the Santa Anita racetrack, and then the next one will be Burbank Airport. We'll probably fly over Whiteman, and then of course the San Fernando. If we look at the TAC chart here, it'll show us the San Fernando Reservoir, and then from there we're going to head on a 023 magnetic course. That's the nice thing about sky vector is it takes care of variation for you. So 023, but our compass heading is going to be 030 because of the winds, and our top of descent is going to be about 11.5 miles out. Our top of climb is approximately what did I calculate as 10 miles for top of climb at a ground speed of about 74 knots or so. But we'll see what happens with that. Like I said, sky conditions clear. It's a nice day all around, so we shouldn't have any issue. We did try to conduct this flight last weekend, and we were running into some IMC. The ceiling was getting lower on us, so I had to divert to Whiteman because I couldn't go through that pass with the terrain being so high in a little putt-putt Cessna 152, so I decided to divert to Whiteman, which was a smart decision. Because we were in IFR, and yeah, no. Alright, so that's basically it. So as I said, looking at Palmdale here, the station is telling us that they're also clear below 12,000, so and there's no wind, so it's probably about the same. Agua Dulce is approximately 5 miles to the southwest there. It shouldn't be much different. And then of course Lancaster is showing about the same. Wind's calm, it's below 5 knots there. So yeah, that's basically it. That's the route of flight there. I've got a bunch of TFRs, of course. We got the air show there at San Bernardino, and then we've got the fire over here. Pilot Edge doesn't really do TFRs, but anyway, it's just good to note them. Alright, so let's go ahead and get the aircraft going here. We did the walk around. We'll just say that we did the walk around. It's fueled. We've got full fuel in the airplane. And let me go ahead and get the before engine start. Pre-flight is complete. Tie downs, tow bars, chocks are removed. Seat belts and harnesses adjusted and locked. Passengers are briefed, so we're going to be departing probably runway 24. Not probably, we will be departing runway 24. Of course, we have Claremont colleges over here. If you look at the TAC chart, so we're going to stay away from that. We'll depart. We'll probably fly like a 270 heading, just to make sure that we don't bust the Ontario Charlie over here, which is still really close. And then until we've passed Brackett, then we'll re-intercept the 264 course. But until we pass Brackett, we'll probably just maintain like a 270 just to be on the safe side. Of course, try to stay away from the terrain here, but we have plenty of room. And stay away from the Claremont colleges. So it'll be a straight out, or somewhat of a straight out departure. And then, like I said, we'll just continue on, so it's pretty simple. Runway 24. And fuel shut-off valve is on. It is on. Yes, sure it is. It's hard to see it, in the virtual cockpits. So, and like I said, we're going to disregard the call sign. That's the only thing that I kind of bummed out about. You can't change call signs in the airplanes. You can in Flight Simulator and P3D, but you can't do it in X-Plane. Why, I have no idea. But it is what it is. Let's see here. Let's see. Passenger briefed. Yeah, fuel shut off. Electricals off. Circus breakers are all in. That's good. And then mixture is going to go rich. And I need my flight controller here. Which is right here. That's good. Mixture is rich, and then we're gonna go ahead and carburetor heat is cold. Cold carburetor heat. Can't see, the carburetor heat is cold. Yes, it is. And then Beacon switch is on. That's good. Master's on. There's the master. And then, of course, I need to get my headphones on. I've got another mic here, so I'm not going to be using that one. Prime, we're going to probably prime it a couple times, or 1, 2, and you can't lock the primer, but like I said, that's not modeled. Not a big deal. And then brakes are set. We got our brakes. Prop area is clear. There's nothing around us, so we're just going to go clear prop. We're looking for oil pressure, and then we'll lean the mixture 1,000 RPM, and that's basically it. Make sure all the agent instruments are where they need to be. Alright, so we'll go ahead and start the engine. Clear prop. Alright, there it is. Lean the mixture, looking for 1,000 RPM. Oil pressure's good. There's that, and then of course get the ammeter on, or the alternator on, so we can start charging the battery. See, we got a charge there. Then we're at about 1,000 RPM, and we got the mixture lean just a bit. Transponders 1,200. Get it on. There we go. It's all good. We need protection. For taxi radar, transponders on, standby lights are required. We got beacon, and the nav lights on. That's fine. And then strobes entering the runway and the landing lights as well. And then flaps are retracted. Brakes test, and then of course we'll do like a turn coordinator check here. So left, ball goes to the right. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. Oh, a little bit hard on the brakes there. All right. CTAF here is going to be 1, 2, 3. So we're going to go ahead and do the CTAF. Since we cannot tune the AWAS simulator, it kind of sucks, but that's what it is. That's our call sign. We're going to connect to the pilot edge network, so we have to do that. We're just going to have to well, we can see the weather through Sky Vector here, and the altimeter setting is 3006. So, you know, and traffic pattern altitude here is 1400. Correction, field elevation is 1444. So we're going to set 1444, which is like right. Yeah, something like that. So 300, we said, I already forgot, geez. 3006, which is showing about, yeah, that's about it there, 3006. So we got that set. We're going to look at our directional gyro, make sure it's in agreement with the compass. Oh, looks like we got some traffic there. Nobody ever transmits on the CTAF frequency, though. I'm not sure why. So it looks like we're at a 355, possibly, something like that. And we'll go down here, and okay, that's way out of whack there, so we're going to go ahead and 355, like something like that. Yeah, that's about right, because that's a 350, might be 356. Yeah, something like that. Perfect. Yeah, that's good enough. 356, maybe 357. Yeah, something like that. Okay, perfect. That's good. So basically the only thing we have to do is a before takeoff checklist. Yeah, so it does. You just can't tune the AWAS, or ASOS rather. No, it is an AWAS, I'm sorry. 119.52, so if I tune it, nothing's going to happen. Just keep it out. We're not using any nav instruments. We're on COM 1. And that's basically it. There's not much to this airplane. It's pretty simple, so yeah, that's basically it there. And yeah. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to announce our movement. We're in the southeast parking, I guess. East parking. That's basically it. So let's see here. So cable traffic over 657 Quebec is in the east parking. We're Cessna 152, white Cessna 152, taxi runway 24, cable traffic. It's probably a little bit longer than it should have been. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And then we're going to contact SoCal Approach because we're going to request flight following. Radar services are good to have. And left is clear. I thought I had a straw. I was about to drink from my fake straw here. I'm getting some choppiness. Why? Why choppiness? Why? fast their airspeed's alive. So we're good. Alright. Yeah, my chair probably needs to be moved back just a bit because I'm having some trouble deflecting the rudder pedals. Yeah. It's probably time for a computer upgrade. Alright, so we turn her around, and that's basically it. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and do the before takeoff checklist, which is brakes are set, flight controls, and left. This is my track IR, so basically it allows me to, gives me 6 degrees of freedom. Yeah, I know it's a funny hat, I got to get me a new hat. Don't make fun of me. So left goes up, right goes down, up, right goes up, and left goes down, back to left, and right rudder, and left rudder, flight controls. Free and correct, and then we have line instruments are set. We got directional gyro with compass, so we're indicating a 310 there, almost 310, something like that. Yeah, possibly. Yeah, 305. I'm sorry, 305, not 310. So 305, and then altimeter is set. We didn't get the throttle back up to 1,000 again there. That was a mistake. Should have done that. And then that's basically it there for the instruments. Elevator trim is set. Yeah, there it is. There's takeoff. Elevator trim is set to takeoff. And then we'll probably do a short field takeoff today. Line instruments, fuel shut off is in, mixture is rich, throttle is 1700, and we're going to do a mag check. That's about 1700. That is 1700, and then left magneto, about 100 RPM drop or so, back to both. Suction roll, that's good, low pressure's good. Right magneto, 100 RPM drop, a little more than 100, back to both. Still get a little pressure with suction, and then of course we will do the alternator check, and then we'll do an idle check. So we got a discharge, and then we got a charge again, and then we're going to go ahead and do the idle check. Make sure the engine's idling, and then we are going to also do a car beat with the idle. Of course, forget here. It's like it wants to quit. All right, and we lost like 50 RPM with that. I don't know why it shakes. It makes no sense. All right, carb heat in and back to 1,000. So it's a little more cumbersome to do it in the virtual cockpit because carb heat I've got to use my mouse, and then I've got my throttle right here. So we'll go back and lean this again, and then my mixtures, lean and square radars, emergency procedures reviewed. So rolling down the runway, if we have an engine failure while on the runway, we will abort. If we are airborne and we have usable runway remaining, we'll chop throttle, chop and drop, basically land. If we're airborne and we do not have usable runway remaining to land, in the event of an engine failure or something, if we're below 1,000 feet, traffic pattern altitude, well, not at traffic pattern altitude, basically, we're going to make 30 degrees left or right. We're going to either turn the aircraft 30 degrees left or right and find a suitable landing spot. Basically, very, very simple. And we'll climb at VX, actually, that we're going to climb at, which is like 63 knots, because that's what the performance table saw, 63 knots. So we'll climb at that to 6,500 feet, because we're not going to bust any airspace north of Ontario's Charlie. Okay. Nobody's transmitting. This guy's not transmitting. I don't know. This is actual aircraft in the network, but they don't transmit on CTAF. Evidently, they just go right through you. So, all right, and that's basically it. Cam doors closed and latch, everything's good. And then, you know what I need is some hell punch. So I'm going to, that's 125.5. So we'll go ahead and get 1255 here. Approach. 1, 2, and there's no standby, so I just have to tune it once I take off. Alright, so left is clear. So, oh, we're going to do a short field takeoff. So, we're going to go ahead and go 10 degrees of flaps. Let's see here. Short field takeoff flaps set 10 degrees on the 152. Car is cold, brakes applied full throttle, and then we're going to climb at 54 knots until reaching the 50-foot obstacle. Go ahead and lower the nose to accelerate, retract flaps at VY, and then continue to climb. Okay, so right is clear. We'll go ahead and announce cable traffic number 635 Beck entering runway 24, straight out departure cable traffic. So right is clear. It's clear, and then of course we'll go ahead and use my track IR to do that. We probably want to get as much runway as we can here. That's what we want to do. That's okay. That's good enough. Alright, so hold brakes and lights, camera, action, landing lights, taxi lights, strobes. That's good. We got 10 degrees of flaps. Note the time. The time is local time, 3:30. Alright, and brake release. Right rudder here. Okay. Got forward pressure, back pressure on the full column. This thing wants to rotate prior to. Alright, that's 56. Clear the ice obstacle, 50 feet, and clear the ice obstacle, so we're going to tip on it just a bit. Keep that right rudder in, high angle of attack. There we go. And then once we do about 70, we'll go ahead and start the track with the flaps. Okay. Flaps up. Now, what they did model pretty good is the sink. When you get that flaps up, that I do think is great. Traffic over 65 back to fire runway 24 to the last. And then we're going to climb at VX here. Well, we're actually going 1,000 feet a minute now. For a little bit at least. Trim it for that. A lot of right rudder here. So initially, we're going to go 270. 270, so clear ton of columns there. Leave like that, I got it. Alright, and then SoCal's on 1255. This airplane's like, it's like climb. Alright, so let's go ahead and contact SoCal. 125.5. Left for some reason.
What happened?
Checking SoCal, not clear of my exact location right now.
Checking Roger. This is essential evacuation. I'm going to recommend that you try departure with program. You can access from the southern airport under the barrage homepage. Turn left heading 230 meters 3000.
Left heading 230
So we took off at 10 minutes to top of climb, according to our nav log.
Number 12683, departure frequency 118.8, clock 1317. Quebec Yankee Hotel, turn left heading 170.
Left heading 170, Quebec Yankee Hotel.
Yeah, SoCal approach, good afternoon, 65 Central Quebec.
57 Quebec, standby.
We're good now because we're outside of any airspace. Once we're past the bracket there, we'll go ahead and intercept to our course, to our nav. Calculating that. It's good, the pressure, all that's good. Trying to maintain 63, it's hard to kind of see.
VHTPD Sunway Tower and Wytononic with takeoff.
Alright, we're planning for 3,000 publishing.
QH 3 miles from Snake, maintain 3000, until established on the localizer, clear ILS and V20 right approach.
Quebec Yankee Hotel, cleared ILS. 20 right.
Maintain 3000, until established.
Quebec Yankee Hotel.
Southwest 5027, maintain 2600.
Maintain 2600, that was 59
Oh god. No wonder why. Micro
126, 3 back to ground, Project at 6, safe position.
so loud. There we go.
726, 3 runway 30 right, taxi via Alpha Delta.
It's not saving my settings here. I don't know why. It's really getting annoying. Alright, we're past that, so we're going to go ahead and go back to our course of 264. It's like right there. He's busy. He already forgot about us. And SoCal approach number 6257 Quebec.
57 Quebec, is this an emergency?
No sir, we had a VFR request for number 6257 Quebec.
57 Quebec, ready to stand by.
It's not an emergency. Alright, well then I guess he's... Nice. Well, I guess if we're not going to get any radar services, we'll be fine. We're going to be outside of all the airspaces anyway. So even if I wanted to... I don't really need this too much here. Kind of a bit off course here.
Southwest 1597, turn right heading 220.
Right heading 220, that was 1597.
Number 6357 Quebec, SoCal approach, say request.
Yeah, SoCal approach number 625 Quebec. We're approximately 8 miles to the west of Charlie Bravo Cable Airport. Request VFR flight following. We're type Cessna 152 slant uniform at 6,500 feet to Agua Dulce, Lima 70.
Cessna 57 Quebec, squawk 5006.
Squawk 5006, number 625 Quebec. Kind of had that all jumbled up, but that's what it is. Okay, 5006.
CSQH, contact Greenland Tower 126.8.
26.8. Quebec Yankee Hotel.
Alright, so our top of climb is about 10 minutes, is what it said, so we are coming up on that, and we're only about 5,000 feet.
does that mean you need to remain as better?
The aircraft is not, we're doing about 400 feet a minute here.
Roger, you need to say that. VHTPT left close traffic plus, runway 29, clear for the option. Cessna 57 Quebec, try to contact 13 miles west of Ontario, altimeter 3004.
3004, thank you, number 6257 quick. 3004.
Southwest 1597, airport 1 o'clock and 13 miles, report on site.
3004 there.
Alright, that was 1597.
Southwest 1597, clear visual approach, runway 24 right, contact Los Angeles Tower 133.9.
There's 5,000 feet.
Clear visual for
About
runway
2 minutes to go.
right, on the tower 123.9.
At 500 feet a minute. Well, actually, maybe, nah.
CFQOH,
That will be
runway
close.
tower, runway 20 right, clear to land.
Oops. There it is.
American 556 from 6 Clemens cleared to San Francisco Airport Cathedral 1 departure, then as filed, maintain 7000, departure frequency 126.7.
So, even in this high angle of attack climb, not a lot of right rudder is needed. It doesn't seem that, seems like they didn't model P-factor torque and, what am I missing? P-factor torque. I'm missing something. Well, anyway, they didn't model that stuff, so as well as I thought they would. But see, that's neutral on the rudder, and the ball is basically in the center. When really at this airspeed, you would think you'd need a little bit of right rudder. Even though I do have some right rudder, you know, it's good. It's a good habit to keep your feet on the rudder and not forget about it. Get that nose out a bit there. It's just hard to see because you're just so hot nose up. Okay, so I'm looking for Santa Anita.
12683, backfill tower, runway 30 right at Delta, clear for takeoff.
I think that's it over there. Yeah, that's it right there. Hey, we're coming up on 6,000 feet. I don't know if we're going to make it to 6,500. Now we're barely doing 400 feet a minute here. Need the mixer just a bit more. I got full throttle. I'm doing about 2,300 RPM here. Oops, hitting the wrong button there. So visually scanning,
we just reached the 00 about
very, very
20
important.
miles ago.
Try to maintain that heading.
Just climbed to 00, just
Now, of
reached
course,
the
compass is
you
only
wanna start
reliable,
right away?
straight level, and accelerated flight. And that's another thing they really didn't model is the gyro precession. I know it doesn't seem like it doesn't move. Once you set it to the compass, you never have any issue with friction. I'm not sure about why. They didn't go into that much detail. Now the Airfoil Labs Cessna 172 that I was flying before this, excellent airplane. Excellent, very excellent airplane. It flies amazing. But yeah, it's different. Alright, we got about 300 feet to go here. Yeah, there's Santa Anita. Santa Anita! So basically we are right here. Basically. We are right here. And then after that we'll go to Burbank.
CFQH, cross runway 2 right at hotel, taxi via Alpha this frequency, have a good day.
So Santa Anita, once we get to Santa Anita, which is 13.7 miles from Brackett, we'll have 40.5 to go, and we would have burned 1.9 or about 2 gallons of fuel. I don't know how reliable these fuel gauges are, but we had full fuel when we took off, so we're just going to go with that. So we'll burn about 2 gallons of fuel. We're on the high side. Really was about 5.6 gallons an hour. I just rounded up to 5.7 because that's what you do. But I mean, we're not even going to burn 6 gallons. We're not even going to burn an hour's worth of fuel, so we got plenty of fuel. Unless we have a fuel leak or something like that. But I mean, I'm sure we'd be able to see that. Maybe, maybe not. At the cap. Well, we would know for sure at one point. Oh, I guess we just climbed through 6,500 there, but okay, let's get that nose up, or nose down. The engine would usually quit, right? If you ran out of fuel. Alright, so nose down, the aircraft begin to accelerate. See where I need to be here to trim the airplane. And then we gotta watch that RPM. Right, so about 264 to Burbank. Winds aloft are about 080 at 10 knots, so have somewhat of a well, not somewhat, they almost a direct on tailwind, so wind correction shouldn't be an issue. Actually, my E6B said I have to correct 0.24 degrees to the right, so you know, that's the nice thing. That's what I use electronic. Of course, you know, it's good to know how to use both. I do use both, but
departure system 12683.
It's just so much quicker using the electronic E6B than using the slide rule. But I have both just in case the batteries die in the electronic. It just stops working. Of course, I do have backup batteries.
VHDPT runway 29, clear for the option.
Yeah, we're doing like 90 knots indicated. So I guess the performance tables were not incorrect, but the E6B was. It says our indicated would have been. I just thought our indicated would have been higher, but oh well. We're doing 2,400 RPM, 2,450, which is about all we can get out of her. All right, so we're reading a 260. And this should be reading a 260 as well. Perfect. Yep, that's basically it. My wife is texting me here. Oopsie. Yeah, so the thing that I'm bummed out about is you got one comm radio, so you cannot listen in on guard or get an ATIS and comm 2 or anything like that. So that's the only bummy thing, I guess. But I guess it is what it is. Take a screenshot of that. It's kind of nice. There's the Rose Bowl right there. So after we pass Santa Anita, come on. Burbank is 7 minutes and 56 seconds from that. Our top of climb was about 5 minutes ago, so we should be getting close. Probably another 5 more minutes or so. And then that's going to be a distance of 16 miles to Burbank. But of course, since our indicated airspeed is off by 10 knots, because I thought we were going to be doing 100 knots, I was dreaming, I guess. Forgot that I was in a 152.
Verify 21, descend and maintain 2000.
And that's going to throw off our times a bit. Time, speed, and distance. Well, distance is not going to change, but time is going to change.
Yeah, it's 521, contact Sunflower approach 120.55.
So at Burbank we would have burned another 0.8 gallons, which would give us a grand total of 2.7 gallons when we get to Burbank. Yep.
Santa Barbara approach, headed 521, descending through 10,000 to 2,000. We're flying direct to position Quan to meet the VFR approach for runway 25.
It's 521, Santa Barbara approach, expect the GPS and VFR approach, advise when you have information, Yankee.
We have information, Yankee, unit 21.
Information Yankee. That's the 134 freeway here. We can actually take a look at that when we're flying here. That's the 210 becomes the the 101, not the 134. We can follow all the way that. That'll take us to Camarillo too. If we wanted to do that. Yep. And then of course Burbank is off the 5. So it should be coming up shortly here. So excited about starting my private pilot tomorrow, and that should be fun. I've already got about 20 hours of flying, but I was flying with various instructors, and I was kind of getting tossed around, and then I just kind of quit because I was just kind of getting frustrated with it, just being tossed around. So hopefully that doesn't happen. I fly out of Southern California. It's going to be Cables where I'm going to be flying out of. That should be fun. Hopefully get that done. Move on to the instrument rating. And that should be great. I get that, just knock out that private pilot. Once that's knocked out, should be able to do my instrument rating fairly quickly. I do a lot of instrument stuff here through the simulator, instrument approaches, all that. And quite frankly, flying an IFR flight plan is quite easier than flying VFR. Tech routes, airways, it just makes things so much easier. Of course, everything's GPS now, and that's one thing that I don't do. I do a lot of radio. Actually, that's all I do is radio navigation. So when it comes to GPS, I'm like, okay. I'm not really GPS savvy. All right, well, there's Burbank. We're a little bit left of course there, because we're kind of swaying back and forth. So Burbank at about 10 minutes to 4, and then we'll fly a heading of 29. I'm sorry, not a heading of 29er, but a heading of 302 to the Santa Fe Reservoir, and that should take us approximately 3 minutes and 58 seconds. So that'll give us a cross-check our ground speed if it's accurate, or.
There is 521 cross Queen.
But I don't think it's going to be, because we're only doing 90 knots indicated, and I thought we were going to be doing like 100. So that was my fault.
Clear for GPS approach runway 25, running 521 and cross 1 at 2,000 feet.
And we're actually going to go ahead and turn to a 302 course now, because actually I could see the San Fernando Reservoir, which is right over there. So which means our times are going to be thrown off a bit, since our ground speed is going to be less. Let's see what our ground speed is actually. Wind direction is going to be 9812. Course is going to be 302, and ground speed. true airspeed's going to be 101 knots. See? That makes a big difference. Gives us a ground speed of 111. Actually, the ground speed didn't even change much. It was 112 before at 100 knots. So, yeah, maybe we'll be okay. There's Burbank. Oops. Well, we're doing a good job keeping the aircraft straight and level, or level. Not straight, but level. So we're about 453. So about 457 we should hit. If our ground speed is accurate, then we'll hit San Fernando Reservoir, which is over there at 457. And then from the San Fernando Reservoir, basically at the tip of that, we're going to fly a course of 030, and our top of descent is at 11.5 miles. So 3.5 miles out from that, we'll go ahead and descend 3.5 miles to the northeast of San Fernando Reservoir. Yeah, so I mean, the thing is that it's a little tricky here when you got all this terrain, but that's actually the pass that we're going to be going through. The what do they call it? I don't know what they call that pass, but anyway, it's not on it. Mendenhall Peak is to the left there. That's Mendenhall Peak there. Where is it? There, somewhere here. One of these. So this is ortho scenery. As you can see, it is very, very, I mean, it's real world scenery. It's just 2D. So you look down and it's just 2D. It's not anything 3D. That's why it's called 2D, right?
0521, contact tower, 119.7.
How fast we're going. Look at this. Look at this crazy speed that we're doing. And there's Whiteman Airport just below us. Right, well, it's been 25 minutes since we took off, which means our ground speed is slower. The average ground speed has been slower than we anticipated, because we're not going to get to Agua Dulce in 5 minutes. It's going to be a little bit longer than that. But it is what it is.
Кіння 6 звичайно лаба, Лабекоронса, код Япон Airport, Pebble 6, departure, Seal Beach transition.
We'll probably just request a frequency change once we start our descent, so we can announce the CTAF that we're going to be coming in. CTAF is 122.8. So yeah, the winds are reported to be calm for the area. And all we got is Edwards, and then we got General Fox to tell us that, because there's no AWAS on the field or any weather equipment. And once we hit the tip of the San Fernando Reservoir, then we're going to go ahead and fly a 030 course. That means our ground speed is going to change there, because the winds are 090 at 12, magnetic, course is 030, true airspeed is 101, 94.5 will be our ground speed, so really we're going to be flying a 36 course. I'm sorry, that's wrong, because oops, no, it's 23, 22-9er, so yeah, 30, same thing, 29er, 30, same thing. Good. All the instruments are looking good. Jog cam is good. Okay, we're coming up on the San Fernando Reservoir. Reservoir Dogs. Yeah. I forgot to note the Hobbs time before we turn the engine over. That's okay. That's okay. You know, it's just, you kind of cut corners when you're in a simulator. I don't know why. I shouldn't. I should just do it exactly the same. Of course, you can't simulate a walk around in this airplane, but other than that, I should simulate everything else. Alright, here comes our last checkpoint. We're going to be doing our top of descent in about 4 miles or so. We're going to go through there. Hopefully we can find the airport. Goodyear tires. Let's see if I hit the brakes, will it stop spinning? Yep, stop spinning. Alright, so our ground speed is going to be about 95 knots, the way the wind is going here. But we're only going to fly about 3.5 miles, and then we're going to start descending. 500 feet a minute, it should take us about, let's see here, 7 minutes and 40 seconds. Traffic pattern altitude is 3660, because that's what we're descending to. 6,500 minus 3660. 40 divided by 500 gives us, 5 minutes and 40 seconds. Didn't account for traffic pattern altitude. Alright, so let's go ahead and turn to a 290. Yeah, I mean, the airport's in a valley, so it's kind of like, it's going to be a little obscure. So, I mean, it's not going to be very easy to see. Let's see if I can follow the 14 freeway. So 14 goes that way. So basically, we're going to come to the left. We're actually going to come to the left of the 14 freeway anyway, because it's a right-hand traffic pattern for runway 22. So if we can see the airport, and I may just have to stay a little bit higher just to be able to see the airport because the terrain is so high here. So I may not be able to descend right away. And we got an aircraft flying away from us, from our 12 to 1, 12 to 11 o'clock on which side. That might be it right there, actually. Yeah, I think so. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and request a frequency change. And SoCal approach number 6357 Quebec, request frequency change. We have the airport in sight. Anything now. Alright, we're going to go ahead and descend. We're looking at 500 feet a minute. I am connected to the network still. Yeah, I am. So we're going to come to the left of the airport because it's a right pattern for runway 22. Get that nose down. Okay. SoCal approach number 6357 Quebec. Try a different frequency. He's not responding. Unless the internet went out or something. That's possible. Because it's all through the internet, of course. Try a different frequency here. I mean, he didn't tell me to switch to any frequency. 120.4. Let's go to 1204. SoCal approach number 6357 Quebec.
Number 6357 Quebec, SoCal approach.
We were with the 127.0 sector, and we're not getting any response from them for number 6357 Quebec.
For 6257 Quebec, Roger, this frequency will work for now. You're actually pretty close to Agua Dulce Airport, so radar service terminated, squawk VFR, frequency change approved.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. Radar service terminated, squawk VFR, frequency change approved, number 6357 Quebec. Alright, so, yeah, I'm not sure why that wasn't working, but that's okay. 1200. That's the, what is that river? The something river. Yeah, the something river. I forgot what it's called. It's not on here. It's on Google Earth. I've got it on Google Earth. So the trick that I found out was anytime you want to plan a VFR flight plan.
602 Charlie November, contact departure.
12. Oops.
Charlie November.
I forgot to 122.8. I forgot to transmit to CTAP. Whoa. Agua Dulce traffic, number 6357 Quebec, white and blue Cessna 152, approximately 6 miles to the west. Inbound, full stop for landing. It will be entering on a right-hand pattern for runway 22, Agua Dulce traffic. Got to transmit. Yeah, so basically I just use Google Earth, and I just plan it through Google Earth. You know, kind of estimate where my waypoints would be. And then, you know, especially when you got terrain that's so familiar, like, just everything looks the same with all these valleys and stuff. It makes it so much easier to actually fly to obscure airports like this. And you know it's up in a valley, you know, there it is actually. Yeah, so anyway, traffic pattern altitude is 3660. So we got about another 800 feet to lose, something like that. And we got a departure here or something. Probably should start reducing some power here. All right, then once we get closer, once we beam the number is going to go carb heat, and then back to about 1500 RPM, 10 degrees of flaps. And then you know, fly the traffic pattern. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to the other guy. He didn't tell me to switch frequencies, so not quite sure. Alright, so we'll probably just stay 100 feet above because this terrain is kind of low, at least for my liking. And then, of course, speed's going to start coming back as we start getting the nose up. I'm going to go ahead and get my track IR back on because I'm going to need it for the traffic pattern. We got a lot of departures out of Agua Dulce. There's another one. Alright, we're about traffic pattern, about 100 above traffic pattern altitude. Well, actually, we're at traffic pattern altitude now. I was trying to say about 100 above, but... Alright, so gas on the fullest tank, undercarriage down, mixture's gonna go rich. Prop is forward, no prop, all that stuff is good. We're doing about 75 knots here. We don't want to get any slower than this right now. There is the airport. Yeah, we've been flying for about 37 minutes now. But that's okay. I mean, it's fine. Alright, so we're going to enter on a 45. About midpoint there. It's just something like that. We've got about 80 knots here, so we're within the wide arc. This is where we want to be. At traffic pattern altitude. So simulators are very sensitive. I mean, this airplane is very, very sensitive. There's not a lot of resolution, and then plus I'm using a pretty crummy joystick, so you gotta be real gentle. Alright, there's about 45, and then we'll go ahead and get the nose parallel to the runway, or not the runway, we'll just go downwind here. Okay. And Agua Dulce traffic, number 657 Quebec, white, Cessna 152, entered on midpoint downwind, now for runway 22, full stop, Agua Dulce traffic. Kind of a little bit below the traffic pattern now. Alright, there's about midpoint downwind, so we're going to go ahead and go carburetor heat. And we're going to go 10 degrees of flaps. Maintain about 70 here for downwind. Wow, this is kind of hairy here. You're really close to the mountain. But I guess you couldn't fly over there because that peak is much higher. Alright, and we'll just cut it short here a bit. We'll start that turn now. Cable traffic number 63, Agua Dulce traffic number 6357 Quebec, right base, runway 22, Agua Dulce traffic. Okay, we're going to go ahead and set that. Just, oh god, we're so high. Yeah, we're way high. I just didn't realize how high we were. Alright, we're going to go ahead and go next notch. Oops. But you know what, everything about this airplane says drag, so... yeah, we're way high. I want to do about 60. There's a damn tree right at the beginning of the runway threshold. Alright, we're at 60 knots. We're a little high, but now we're about re-established or so, doing 1,000 feet a minute. Yeah, I don't know why there's a tree blocking the numbers. I don't get that. But that's fine. We'll just come over the tree. I mean, there's a 4,600 foot runway, so I'm not sure about why that is, but it is. All right, let's go ahead and start rounding out. Oops, that was a little bit too much there. Okay, that's good enough for me. Little bit of brakes. This plane is so sensitive, especially ground movements. Jeez. Okay, we're good, we're good. Yeah, that's very weird. Alright, go ahead and get that in, lean that on. Strobes off, landing lights off, taxi, and Agua Dulce traffic number 657 Quebec, clear of runway 22, Agua Dulce traffic. Alright, so lights, camera, actions all done. We'll go ahead and set the trim back to takeoff. I can get the flaps back up. I guess I got the taxi lights on instead of the landing lights, that's fine. Strobes are off. Nav come off too. Anywho's, wasn't a bad landing, it just, you know, because my descent angle was pretty steep. So you really had to get that nose. Ooh, look at that twin over there. But, yeah, that's weird. I don't know why the scenery's putting trees at the beginning of the runway. But who knows. Anyway, we can always review the landing. Of course, the altimeter's changed because we're not at 3660 here. We're a little bit lower than that. That's okay. See, and even aircraft are on the grass or something on the soft field there, it looks like. That's good enough for me. Oops. Alright, we got our feet on the brakes, and let's see here. After landing, the radio set, carburetor heat's cold, throttle's 1,000. I'm going to get the throttle back to 1,000 there once we stopped. Oops, I keep forgetting to do that. Mixture's lean for taxi, flaps are up, transponders firing, line, right, trim tab set for takeoff. ELT will monitor 1215. I don't hear anything, that's good. Magneto's ground checks, I'll turn it off. Okay, that's as good as I can do there. Okay, that's good, it's grounded. Mixture is going to go to idle cutoff after throttle goes to 1300. Alright, that's good. Alright, we forgot to get the electrical off. Oops. All electrical's off. That's what happens when you're rushing. Matches off, control locks installed, hobs intact. We didn't get the hobs when we flew, but it looks like we flew, well, 45 minutes, so yeah, 6.5, so it was like a 5.8, something like that. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, something like that. Okay, that's good enough. And that's it. And then of course we'll just get our feet off the brakes here. We're going to go ahead and disconnect from the Pilot Edge network, and we're just going to review that landing. I always like to review my landings, you know. It's just a habit of mine. That steep approach. It's like, woo! Oops. You're going too far. Look at that tree. I'm just getting right over it. You can't even see the runway numbers. I don't know what you're supposed to do there. Yeah, that was good enough. There's just no way to see the runway numbers. It was just like, I don't know what I was supposed to do there. Well, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that little video of a VFR flight with some basic dead reckoning. Not very accurate, but hey, it is what it is. I know you couldn't see my chart here, but my nav log, but that's what I was using. That was kind of short for a flight. It was like 56 miles, so. But that's basically it for the Just Flight Cessna 152. It's a very simple airplane. Highly recommend it if you're getting into aviation, just learning basic. Well, I mean, if you're not familiar with normally aspirated airplanes, this is where you start. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, please like and subscribe. Fly safe, have fun, and we'll see you next time.